Since we've started multi-species cropping, it's lifted the whole productivity of the farm, improving the sheep and it's proven the subsequent crop. Growing these mixes allows us to rest our lucerne clover pastures through the winter. It's just reducing our risk, I guess, and still making money out of it. My name is Damien McKelvie. We're 40 k's north of Wagga and on a property called Wagga Wagga. Run about 2,400 hectares at the moment, mixed farm, running Aussie White sheep and canola, wheat, barley, vetch. I've been farming since end of 2000, so it's always been a mixed farming area. Sheep have been very profitable. We lamb 3 times in 2 years. We're far different to your standard lamb in the autumn or lamb in the spring, whatever, and your whole drop happens at once. Spreads a bit of risk there too. We nearly sell every month. You're not selling all the spring flush type lambs that everyone else is selling at the same time when the market can be depressed or whatever. That's probably why I try and grow as much feed as we can. Not having a supplementary feed or something like that would be what we aim to do, yeah. Started multi-species cropping about 6 or 7 years ago. Saw a neighbour doing it for soil health reasons and that type of thing, and saw all the bulk he was growing and thought, geez, it'd be a good idea to try and graze that because sheep love a bit of choice, a bit of diversity and all that type of thing, and tried it once and been doing it ever since. So in this paddock it's vetch, tillage radish, purple top turnip and forage brassica. We've tried rye corn, wheat, all those type of things, but it's mainly leaving the cereals out so we can control the grasses if we want to during the season. It's a bit easier management as well at sowing time. So vetch it's great for cleaning up paddocks, it's great for putting nitrogen in the soil, and great for growth rates on lambs as well, yeah. So ticks every box virtually. So this is vetch, that's what we're looking for. Your nodules producing nitrogen. That's where most of our benefit comes the following years. Yeah, and then it'll probably triple in size by the time we get to September. So this is tillage radish, grows a nice big root into the ground. So this helps with your water infiltration. Apparently it's a very good scavenger, so there's a lot of nutrients in that tube. Turnips a bit similar, big bulb. And then added the forage brassica just for biomass really. Yeah, it does grow a very big leaf. Tillage radish has very good early vigour and they won't touch the turnips early. So that allows it to get big and bulky before they'll actually eat it. And then yeah, they'll choose different plants at different times so they're not smashing the whole paddock at once. When it comes to sowing, this year I did about 30 to 40 kilos of vetch to the hectare and then a mixture, I think it added up to like 3 or 3.5 kilos of all these put together. Whatever floats your boat, really. Generally, we'll always put it in, it'll either be a paddock that's getting a bit grassy or something like that, and like too much ryegrass in the cropping phase, or it'll follow a couple of cereals and we're just looking to boost the paddock up again. The paddock behind us was a multi-species last year and is a canola this year, which gives you a double break away from like a cereal. So it allows you to attack a grass, gives you 2 shots at it instead of 1. It does work well. One paddock we have done multiple years of mixed species, had a real bad ryegrass problem. So we went 2 years of mixed species followed by a TT canola and drove the seed bank down to absolutely minimal grass, yeah, without relying on all the expensive chemicals you can throw at it. A cheaper, cost-effective option. Yeah. So these ideally will be sown late March, depending on moisture. That works in with our cropping as well because you can get all your grazing stuff in before you sow your canolas and your main season wheats and barleys. It spreads the workload too. So the previous wet years, one issue we have found is trying to utilise all the bulk we've grown. One of the main reasons we stopped rye corn is if you don't have the mouths on it, it grows too tall too quick. And once it gets a bit of height, sheep don't like it. So probably better in a cattle scenario. Logistics of sowing is one of the hardest things with it. You can put as many things in as you want. It's just, yeah, trying to get a mix together and having the equipment to be able to do it is another thing. We just save time machine still. Just multiple boxes on the seeder. All the small seeds are mixed together and the vegetable will go out separate box. We've got double chute as well, so if we want to, we can jam the vetch in a little bit deeper, because some of these smaller things definitely don't need to be sown too deep. Where possible, yeah, if you could use your own seed, that's always advantageous. Ideally, you got the seeder ready to go and filled up when that rain comes, like early autumn, hopefully, because that time of year, hot weather can dry up pretty quick. You've got to be ready to strike when the time comes. The cost can be very similar to like initial sowing of, like, say, a grazing canola, but there's no more cost after that, because canola's very expensive to get through to the end these days. At the time, growing these multi-species type of mixes, it only cost us about $70 a hectare to grow it that year, and we got about $1,400 a hectare return just from putting weight on lambs. Stacked up pretty well. Quite often, canola following one of these paddocks will be 500 kilos a hectare better than your standard cropping. But then you get multiple years as well, because vetch, it's a bit of a slow release nitrogen. You'll definitely get a boost for the next 2 or 3 years out of it. The soil health is definitely improving as well. Disease-wise, it helps. The results you get from this, all this root mass and, like, yeah, friable soil. A few worms there. Definitely is conditioning the soil. It's much softer, and then, yeah, at sowing time it's nowhere near as hard. These will all rot away, so there's no hindrance to trying to get through it for sowing next year or anything like that. That's probably another benefit you don't think about, I guess, is the surface might dry out, but down deep there's still plenty of moisture next year for that following crop. It's the flow-on effect from in the following years that your gross margins over that will stack up better than any compared to just a standard cropping rotation. Animal health-wise, we've had 0 issues with any of this stuff. So yeah, it's very safe, no risk of nitrate, poisoning or something like that you can get on grazing canola, and the diversity is definitely an advantage. And another benefit I was saying is less herbicide usage as well. Generally it'll just get knocked out at the end of the season, so it's a reduced cost and it's taking pressure off, I guess, all your pre-ems in your cropping phase as well, because we can really drive the ryegrass bank down, especially if you did a couple of years of this. Yeah, we've seen massive reductions in weed pressure. Every year we've increased the hectares to our mixed species. It's improved our whole farm productivity, improved our sheep, it's improved our cropping. You sleep better at night because you're not forking out big dollars to grow it. It's taken financial risk out of the business and improved everything. Sow a paddock or two and see how it works out. That's the best way to learn, is to do it yourself and see how it fits in your system.